Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Real Table Talk. We are back.
Yay! Da, da, da.
Yeah, we've missed you all. We've missed you all. And just to give a bit of an introduction, for especially for people who have not seen us before, my name is Marcia Hilton, and I am the founder of Life Inspired Wellness. And Karen.
I'm Karen Cruz. Hi, everybody. I'm Karen Cruz, and I'm a young people's life coach, helping our young people to flourish.
Yeah, excellent.
And then we have the wonderful Lesleye O'Connor, who is the founder of Real Table Talk.
Hey. Hi, everybody. It's so nice to be back.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
How long has it been?
I
It
know.
seems like it's been ages, but I don't know if it's
Is it a couple of weeks?
a couple of weeks, I think.
A couple of weeks, which seems like a lifetime, doesn't it?
Yeah. Long time.
So how are you, Lesleye?
I'm good. I'm a lot better. I am a lot better, and I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. I'm a lot better today, yes.
Good.
We're going to talk about that, aren't we?
Yeah, how are you doing? How are you girls doing? Ladies, queens?
How are you, Marcia?
Good. I'm good. Yeah, I'm all right. Lots to do, but it's all good.
Yeah, I'm well. I'm just really busy juggling things at the minute. So nice in a nice way. That's because we're getting a lot of work in and everything. But I just need to get a little bit more organised. In fact, I'm glad Jamie's watching us. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Madge.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Paula, as well.
Hi, Paula.
I was thinking today I might need to talk to Jamie about I'm really not very good at Excel spreadsheets, but I think I need one to manage some stuff happening in the company. Okay. So Jamie, I'm going to be talking to you about spreadsheets because apparently she's amazing.
Well, I'm seconding queue then, Jamie.
She'd have to put a training session on. Just charges Marcia. She probably will.
Yeah, she probably will as well, won't she?
And you've got to that. That's what it's about. You've got to keep lifting each other up. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. I'll stick up for you, Jamie.
Yeah, she says we can talk to her anytime, Marcia.
Oh, bless her. Thank you, Jamie.
Yeah.
Well, guys, this week is a special one because we have our special guest, which is actually Lesleye O'Connor, the magnificent and fantastic Lesleye O'Connor herself.
Yay! Thank you.
You're a guest on your own show.
How cool is that?
So just a little bit about Lesleye. Lesleye was born in Leeds in Chapeltown and moved to Bolton Moor, where she grew up. At the age of 16, she moved to London to find her dad, her biological dad. And then she moved back to Leeds 2 years later. She went to college, Thomas Danby College, to complete a catering course. One of the lecturers there, Mrs. Hill, entered Lesleye for a cooking competition, and she won a few cooking competitions. And I can vouch that her cooking is amazing.
Thank you.
It is.
Master Chef S.
That's me.
Okay. Lesleye was a single mother and unfortunately experienced domestic violence. When she managed to get through that, she went back to college and completed a computer course. And she did that full time. And then she worked part-time. One day, while she's at Jenny's Hairdressers that used to be on Chapeltown Road, she found out that she had a brother from another mother, Dwight Powell. Then after she had her second child, she worked for various companies doing catering. And then she found out that she was dyslexic at 29 years old. She moved to London, and while she was there, she actually found herself joining the Metropolitan Police. So our Lesleye is an ex-policewoman.
Hey.
Wow. But not only that, while she was in London, and I am so jealous, Lesleye actually met Samuel L. Jackson.
No.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Wow.
I did.
I need to find out more about that later.
Yeah.
Anyway, Lesleye moved back to Leeds after her stepdad died, and she was really struggling with life. And then she went to look for her biological dad and found him before he died. Lesleye worked for the council for 15 years, but she needed out because her life was standing still, and she knew that she wanted more for her life. Her sons and her grandchildren are her world. Her grandson, sorry, are her world. And she knew she needed more. There was more to life than what she already had. So she decided to work on her mindset. She decided to reinvent herself and to do what she loved. So she joined Toastmasters to practice her public speaking because she wanted to be a motivational speaker. Then she applied to college to follow her dream to become a journalist.
University.
Sorry, university.
University.
Yeah, university. Yeah, she applied to university and actually was accepted to do a journalism course, and she moved to Manchester to follow that dream. So thank you, Lesleye.
Thank you so much, Marcia. Oh my
Yes, so interesting.
wow. Where do you start? I know exactly. I'm intrigued. Who is this person?
You're intrigued in her life.
Exactly. Wow.
If you don't mind, can I just, because I'm always, and you hear lots of people have had COVID and everything, but I'm really interested to hear about, first of all, I'm really glad that you're here and you're feeling much, much better.
Amen. Yeah.
But I'm really interested, Lesleye, to hear how it affected you and how you've been.
Yeah, it's been really, really hard, actually. It's been really hard.
Yeah.
It's been really hard. It felt like a really, really bad cold where everything had been zapped out of you and you had no energy to do anything.
Wow.
And you was just really hot, really cold, and it was really, really bad. Yeah. I did actually, there was one stage where I woke up and I'd got a really, really bad temperature. I was really, really hot, and I thought I'd actually wet the bed because my temperature was so bad. And I'd, from me changing my bedding to getting back into bed, I was freezing cold. I mean, I was shivering so much. My fingertips were freezing, and I actually did think then this was not good.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. Yeah.
Jeez.
And I had a really bad reaction to lemons and limes. Everybody's saying to drink lemons and limes and ginger and, you know, put your head over the towel and do all the steaming. And, you know, when we first had COVID, I was doing that and I was fine. But because I actually got COVID and I was doing that, it was a real bad reaction. It just wasn't for me at all, because that actually stopped me from breathing, where I woke up one morning and my face had all swollen up. And it was because, well, I think it was because of the citrus, because of the lemons and limes, and it had stopped me from, well, tried to stop me from breathing. And I woke up and I thought to myself, who is that? I couldn't believe my face. I couldn't believe it. So yeah, I had to go to hospital, and yeah, so that wasn't very nice. But yeah, yeah. But you know what? I'm just so thankful that, yay!
Yeah.
I can talk! Yay!
Yeah.
We're so
Yeah.
pleased that you've
Yeah, we are. We are.
Paula
Yeah.
Taylor says, thank the Lord you've come through it. Sis, she says she loves you loads.
Yeah, love you too, my darling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jamie said this before we talked about COVID, but she said, oh, Thomas Danby, which is no longer there. She said she used to call it the orange milk crate.
All right.
All right. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you for sharing that, Lesleye. And yeah, really glad you've come through it.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you. I am as well.
Yeah. So Lesleye, you were saying, I just wanted to just you know, at the beginning of the you know, the bio, at 16, you went to London to find your biological dad. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah. My stepdad, I grew up with my stepdad and my mum, and I thought my stepdad was my dad, but my stepdad wasn't my dad, biological dad. He's still my dad. I still love him dearly, but he's not here with us anymore. In fact, my stepdad actually sadly passed away on my birthday,
No.
18th of April 2002. 2003, yeah, passed away on my birthday. My stepdad did. So me and my stepdad, we always had a nice relationship. But yeah, I wanted to find my biological dad, and my biological dad lived in London. And yeah, I went to London. Do you know, when I lived in London, when I first lived in London, I worked at, because my dad said, you've got to get a job, you can't live here for free, you've got to get a job, you've got to go and work. And I worked at Hamley's toy shop, biggest toy shop in the world on Regent Street.
Oh,
Yeah, I worked there. I got a job.
oh wow.
Yeah. I worked in the catering and the cafe upstairs, the restaurant. Yeah, I worked there.
Nice
Yeah, I
one.
lived in London for about a couple of years.
Yeah.
Well, listen, my daughter's 16 in 5 months' time. And if she turned around to me and said, oh, Mum, I'm going to London, I'd be like, no, you're not. No. So what happened? I mean, did you go by yourself? How did you know where you were going?
Yeah, I went by myself.
At 16?
Yeah, I went by myself, but I knew where I was going. I wasn't going to, I didn't know where I was going, but I went to London by myself initially. I had the address of where I was going to end up.
Okay.
And I just, travelled and got myself there and that.
Right.
But yeah, and that was the first time I ever went to London. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Gone out of here.
You was a brave girl.
Very much so. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why you kicked COVID. Ask you were like, no, COVID, I don't think so. I was 16, you saying? She loves Hemley. She says, like a kid's dream in there. I can imagine it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She
remember the film? Was it Big, where they've got the big piano and you can go on the piano with your feet? Yeah, remember that film?
No.
We both with Tom Hanks, and in the toy shop they've got they had a big piano what you could actually walk on to play.
All right.
In a toy shop, yeah.
Oh, nice.
When that film comes on, I mean, this is years ago, obviously, when I was 16. So, but when that film came on, I thought, oh my God, they had that. In Regent Street, yeah, Hamley's toy shop.
Oh, nice.
Couldn't afford any toys though, but you know what?
Yeah. Paula knows what you're talking about. She's saying
all right, excellent.
And Jamie says she knows what you're talking about. It's just me and Marcy that don't. And Jackie knows what Big is as well. Marcy, we need to watch Big.
We do. Yes. So what was that like when you met your dad?
Yeah, it was amazing. You know, the memories what I've got of, and he's called Lesleye, and the memories what I've got of Lesleye is he was very la-di-da-di. He was very posh. He was very suits and very silk socks and silk ties and
Ooh,
briefcase and whatever. And I'm like thinking, God, what job does he do then? Always smart and everything. And yeah, I didn't really find out what work he actually did. But his wife, Beverly, she just adored me. She just adored me. Yeah. Because she really wanted to have a child with George, but they didn't have any kids.
Right.
And yeah, so when I came looking, you know, yeah, she basically adopted me. Yeah.
Oh,
She sadly passed away now, but yeah. Yeah. Nice.
Is your dad still alive?
No, my dad sadly passed away. It was about 6 years, no, probably about 5 years ago. He sadly passed away. Yeah, and it was so weird at that time because it was really weird because you know when somebody's telling you you've got to do something and it's like and you keep putting it to the back of your mind.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what, I've actually got to do this. And then I got a call and they said, you know, your dad's not well. And anyway, I went down to London and, you know, and it was like he waited for me because I went today and I spent the whole day in London at the hospital with him.
Yeah.
And it was like he was waiting. The next morning, I got the call to say that he sadly passed away. You know, it was what was it? A bittersweet moment.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So he's passed away as well.
But you got to meet him, I suppose, and you got
Yeah.
4 years with him. It sounds like.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Yeah.
that's lovely.
It is lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you came back to Leeds, and you started this course at Thomas Danby. So you
Great.
yeah. So you was cooking. You did a catering course and winning competitions.
Yeah. I think I've always enjoyed cooking. I think, you know, being a kid, growing up with brothers and sisters, and you know, there's what, seven of us, 8 of us. One of my brothers sadly passed away. But yeah, so growing up in a big family where, you know, you do a lot of cooking, you know, and that's why I really wanted to go into cooking. So I moved back to Leeds. I wanted to come back to Leeds. I wanted to come back home. And I came back to Leeds and I thought, yeah, let's go and do some catering. And you see, because I was never really good at school. I shouldn't really say it. No, I was never really good at school. I couldn't get it. Reading these books and doing maths. In fact, I was okay at maths, but English, I just couldn't get it. And art, I was really good at art, very good at art. But English, catering, I just loved it. So when I went to college, Thomas Danby, and was doing catering, I did my City and Girls 706, 102, whatever it is. And yeah, and Mrs. Hill, she loved me. And she said, Lesleye, we're going to do it. We're going to go in for all these competitions. And, you know, I've even got, oh my goodness, I bought 2 plates. I want to get the plates and show you. I've got 2 plates. I've got to show you.
Yeah. So while she's gone, let's talk about her.
It is so nice. Oh my goodness, this plate is so old.
Wow.
It's got to be over 30 years old.
Wow.
Okay.
That's lovely.
This plate, and this was one of the plates where I won my competition, food competition.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Mrs. Hill. And the reason why I bought that plate was because I was making chicken and a white sauce, and I wanted it to stand out on the plate.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Nice.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
If I ever come to your house, don't take that plate out because I'm very, very clumsy. So whatever you do, if I'm ever at your house, put the plate away. Mash it up.
I've still got them both. I've still got 2 of them. Yeah, I bought 2 and I've still got them.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Cool.
Yeah,
It's
what a
true,
nice
isn't
memory.
it? When you come from a big family, I don't know what it was like with you, Maz, but there were 6 of us when my other siblings eventually came over from Jamaica. That's another story. But when I said to Olivia, when I was 12 or 13, I was cooking for the whole family.
Yeah.
I used to clean the house, wash, and I cook Sunday dinner for the whole family.
Yeah, that's
certainly makes you grow up and learn skills early.
exactly. Yeah. I was from a family of, well, five of us siblings, and then my mum and dad, so the house full of 7 of us. So yeah.
That was it.
We had to, you just I don't think it could function if we didn't all were able to do stuff.
I know.
Yeah, I can't imagine, having that many people and we're not able to, do, cook and do all of those things. Yeah. These kids are lucky, in it.
Oh, they're lucky. But I tell you what, we used to have to take it in turns to wash up.
Yeah.
So there was me and my 2 sisters and my two brothers. My eldest brother never came over here. But my brothers, when they used to wash up, like all your pots, they'd be like, oh, they put them to soak. So when it's my turn to wash up the next day, I've got all the pots, and I'm like, how does that even happen?
Yeah.
There's all the pots underneath the sink soaking.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, and Albanique agrees with us. Yeah, you've got to cook for the family from a very early age.
Yeah.
I don't regret it now, but at the time I was like not happy. Nice one. So Thomas Danby happened, and then what was the next? Because I'm trying to get to the stage where I met you. So it's funny because I've known you for the longest time. Because early on we had like a mutual friend.
Yeah.
And then I've not seen you for years. A bit like me and Marcy. I've not seen you for absolute years. Then we bumped into each other in it was a network networking group. Yeah. And I'm like, I know you.
I know you.
And we were chat. And that's when you told me about your experience in the police force. And I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah. So how long were you in the police? What happened for you to...
So what happened was, right, I was involved in domestic violence. I'm not going to shy away from it because domestic violence was absolutely awful for me. But let me tell you something, right? When I got hit down to the floor and the person put their shoulder on, put their knees on my shoulders and put their hands around my throat. And with what breath I had, there was a little boy stood at the side of me. It must have been no more than 10 years old. And I tell you, with what breath I had, this little boy, I begged him to go and call his mum. And he did. Do you know what I mean? This little boy saved my life. Saved my life. I said to myself, that I wouldn't go into another relationship. I just took my kid and off I went, And within my relationships, I have been in abusive relationships, and and I've always said that I don't know why they do that, because what right has anybody, never mind a man, a woman, what right have they got to put their hand on you and thinking they can take ownership of you? They ain't got no right of that. They ain't got no right. So I am that person where I don't think so. You can beg me as much as you want. My life is more than that. So I didn't stay in my relationships long, because if I was abused in any way, I just had to leave. And I've got 2 children and 2 sons, and both my relationships were very abusive. And I took my sons and I went, and and this, when I took my youngest, he was a baby, and Theo was a little bit older. And I decided, my good friend, we're still friends to this day, Kay, and I went and moved down to London. And yeah, I lived in London, and I didn't know anybody apart from my friend Kay. And yeah, the police, they were doing to Stephen Lawrence. Remember Stephen Lawrence?
Yeah.
Doing a big promotion, Stephen Lawrence, to get ethnic officers, ethnic people in the police service, and this big promotion. And I lived in Walthamstow, East London, and they were doing this big promotion in Tottenham Court Road. And I thought, I don't know where it is. And I got I'm going to say Isaiah then, not Isaiah, Isaiah's my grandson. I got Nathan, got him in his pushchair, took Theo to school, with my pushchair, and we went to this big seminar thing, what were they having, to talk to Black ethnic people. And I thought, oh, this sounds really interesting. And you had to be unemployed, because I made myself unemployed by moving to London. I wasn't working, and I was unemployed, and you had to be unemployed for 6 months, and I was only unemployed for 3 months. And they found a way for me to get in to do the course, because the criteria was you needed 6 months to be unemployed.
Yeah.
And yeah, and they let me in. They like said, yeah, you can come in. So yeah. Before I knew it, oh my goodness, before I knew it, I was deployed at Hendon Police College as a bloody police officer. Sorry, I'm just like, because just the reality of it all, it's just like, what? And I remember marching around and thinking, how the heck did I? Yeah, it all just happened. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Can I just tell you something before all that, right? Because before all that happened, when I just before I had my second child, and Nathan, he's 28 now. So just before I had Nathan, I went to, if anybody in Leeds is listening, and Jenny's hair shop on Chapeltown Road, I went into Jenny's, and my dad didn't even tell me this, who I went to go and live with when I was 16. And I went to Jenny's hair shop, and everybody went into Jenny's, and everybody knows everybody in Jenny's hairdressers. And in the hairdressers was a lady who I now know as Mrs. Powell. And there was another lady in there who, Mrs. Williams, Vera Williams, and Jenny. And in this, and you know, when as Black people get together in the hairdressers, you know, and they're all chatting and whatever. And Mrs. Williams said, she said to me, she said, oh, you know, this is such and such's mother. And I'm like, what? And then Phaedra, Mrs. Powell, she said to me, oh yeah, she said, you've got a brother? And she had this magazine in her hand, and she flipped through this magazine, and she said, that's your brother there. And my brother was in this magazine, and he'd done the splits in the air. That was the picture, what I got shown, and that was my brother. And I was like, oh. So at this time, I was about 24, 25. And I gave Frida my details, and I said to Mrs. Powell, I said to her, you know, whenever he's in Leeds, because he travelled the world, you know, when we was talking to Sharon Watson, so Sharon, she did a lot of dancing with Dwight.
Yeah.
And so I said, you know, when he comes to Leeds, you know, tell him to look me up. Anyway, on the door. I like this. And he was, he like said, you're my sister. And I was like, oh my God, you're my brother. And you know what it was? It was the fact that I grew up with brothers and sisters who, you know, we all grew up together. And I was the only one who had a different dad. And, you know, so it was really nice to have a family member who I actually look alike. I was like, we look alike.
Yeah.
So that was super nice. And then when I left, because of my situation at that time, I left Leeds and moved to London. And I'll just tell you this, that I was in the police, joined the police, and I didn't know London, so I wasn't really sure which area of London to work at. And I decided to go central. So I worked on Oxford Street, Regent Street, Marble Arch. I worked that area. And my first day out as a police constable, my first day out. And if you know London, so you've got just after Selfridges, and you've got St. Christopher's Place. So I was coming out of St. Christopher's Place, junction with Oxford Street, and this Chinese couple, I was out with a colleague who was showing me the ropes, and this Chinese couple was walking towards us. Sorry, this Chinese couple had stopped us and asking us for directions. And I was like, well, I don't know.
I'm from Leeds.
I just let my colleague just get on with it. And I was just focusing on this black guy right ahead of me. And I'm thinking to myself, it looks so familiar. I don't know anybody in London. And he's there walking towards me, pushing this pushchair. I'm thinking, who is this person? But I couldn't not focus. I was just focused on this person. And as he got closer, my brother.
No way.
Wow.
My brother from another mother was walking towards me.
Wow.
And we love telling that story because Dwight's side is that he knew he was good when he was coming to England, because he lives in Denmark. So he knew when he was coming to London, when he was coming to England this time, he was going to be in London for a couple of days, and then he was going to travel up to Leeds to find his sister. And so for him to be in London, and for me to be in London, and for us to be there at that time on that day,
yeah, it's crazy.
So that we would always be in touch.
Yeah.
And now we just I mean, I was on the phone with him for about 2 hours today. We just love each other so much. He's got 2 boys, I've got 2 boys. Yeah. You know, he's amazing, I'm amazing.
Yeah. Yes, you are.
we look alike. We've got the same sort of personality, and it's so nice. It's so refreshing. And you know, when you're young, well, for me, when you were younger, you wanted that. You wanted to relate to somebody, to a family member, to have that. You know, maybe it's because we're older why we get on so well, but yeah, we've got a beautiful relationship, and I do love him, and I love Paula. Obviously, I love Paula Daly. I grew up with Paula, but I love Dwight even more, because it's like we just didn't know each other, and now we've got each other, and it's just amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. I'm a bit there, didn't I? I don't know.
Paula's agreeing with you, Lesleye. She says you are very amazing.
Oh, thank you.
So that story, I mean, if ever something was meant to be, that was meant to be, right?
Indeed. Yeah.
The whole of London on that particular day, you two bumped into each other.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Families and everything. It's like, and a lot of people won't understand this. I suppose it happens a lot in our culture, but like my eldest brother. So 3 of my siblings were born in Jamaica. There's only me and my younger sister that were born here. Right. 4 of my siblings? Yeah. Because 4 and 2 is 6, isn't it? Yeah. I can do it. Although my other 3, my eldest brother never came over to England. So I met my eldest brother when I was 14.
Yeah. Same here.
My brother walked in.
Yeah.
Thinking, who is this handsome young man? I mean, obviously we knew he was coming.
Yeah.
I followed him everywhere. I'm like, oh, it's my brother. It's my brother. I like sat next to him. He's like, will you go away? I'm like, no, I'm sitting next to my brother.
That's so weird, because that happened to us as well. My brother came over here from Jamaica, on my mum's side. I think it was the first time he came over was 89. When did they have that thing in Sheffield? What happened? the football.
I think it was it late 80s, not early 90s?
Yeah, and that's when he like came over. I don't know why I remember that, but yeah, there's a connection there. But yeah, he came over then from
yeah. My sister came when I was 9 when she came.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think a lot of our generation that's how it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was just saying that she met her eldest brother when she was 17.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, just to go back on the cooking thing, so is it Sergi Albany?
Yeah.
She got her 12-year-old cooking from she was 10. She's now very competent in the kitchen. And Jamie, her son's just cooked a 3-course meal.
Woo!
Nice.
I know where you live, you know.
Ah!
And it ain't far. I can walk there. You know, I'm into walking now. I can walk there in 2 seconds.
Excellent.
Wow. What a story.
Yeah.
So sad to hear that you went through domestic violence, but you've obviously come through it. So you just made that decision that's not happening to you, and you're just gonna, because so many women struggle to escape those sorts of situations, don't they?
Indeed.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's been really hard, Karen, because like I think nearly all my relationships, apart from one, have been abusive. And I don't know what it is. I don't know, you know, like I don't know what it is. I don't know if you send something to them where they think they can do that, where they can do this control. You know, I've always grown up and like think, you know, when you see things and you think to yourself, I never want to do that. I never want to be like that. I never want that to happen to me. But then for whatever reason, I don't know if you've wanted to experience it. Do you know what I mean? To like think, all right, yeah, I've experienced it. I definitely don't want it. I don't know. It just so bizarre. It's just so bizarre. But yeah, domestic violence. And I was in a relationship, my last relationship, and he was so charming. He was so nice, but he was a narcissist. He was a controlling, awful person.
Oh my God.
It was controlling. So I don't know what, you know, it's like, well, Marcia, you know the answer to this question. What is it actually?
Well, I'm not sure that, well, basically what I would say is that a lot of the times when women find themselves in, you know, sort of abusive relationships, whether that's physical or even emotional, a lot of the time it's there is a background somewhere or some form of trauma.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time there's this whole thing around, we are, you know, people who have been, you know, in those kind of, or who find themselves in abusive relationships tend to be the type of people that are really giving, who are really helpful and are loving, and you know, and unfortunately sometimes when we end up with people who are not that, they will just suck you dry. If you imagine you know, the Dracula movies, you know, where somebody comes in and just bites somebody on the neck and just suck out the blood, what they're doing is they're sucking out that life force. And I think abusers, that's what they do, they suck that energy, that goodness that we have, because a lot of the times we think that the world, you know, we have a different perception of how the world is. You know, we're always going to be thinking there is some good in the world.
Yeah.
You know, and people will pick up on that and just, you know, for whatever reason, just want to crush that. And it's unfortunate, you know, and a lot of time, particularly with narcissists, because that's the area that I work in, a lot of the time we tend to have a lot of empathy, and it's mainly women, particularly around narcissistic abuse. That's not to say it don't happen to men, because it does.
Yeah.
But a lot of the time it'll be the women that will come forward and say this has happened to them.
Yeah.
And I think yeah, they just want to crush you. They don't, because narcissists don't have empathy. We have a lot of empathy. We want to fix them. If we see somebody and we want to make everything okay for them, we want to, you know, all of that stuff. which actually we're self-sacrificing. So we're actually not doing ourselves any favors. And a lot of the time we don't have boundaries in place. I didn't have any, you know, and I think, you know, people who, you know, are in healthier relationships will have boundaries, and that's set up right at the beginning of the relationship. So everybody singing from the same hymn sheet, so to speak. When you haven't got any boundaries, anything goes. And people will abuse you. So it's, I think that's a key thing. I think it's about knowing exactly what it is you want for yourself. And I think first and foremost, it's about getting ourselves right, doing the work really to make ourselves whole. And then we won't be attracting, if we're broken emotionally, then we're going to attract broken people. I think sometimes if we can do the healing work for ourselves, you know, we're going to be attracting people that are much whole, you know, a lot whole than previously, if that makes sense. So it's a big topic. There's so much really that you can unpack with all of that. That's probably for another show, but you know, there is so much there that we can do towards healing, so that we're, and putting in the work, so we're not attracting those kind of relationships.
No, that is so true, and I totally understand. I totally understand that now, because I think for me, I was, you know, I'm a lover, not a fighter. You know, I don't like arguments and whatever. I'd rather, you know, I'd rather love you, and, you know, rather than, you know, so, and I think that was my problem. I was giving too much of myself and not knowing my own boundaries. You know, now I've got to grips with that. I know that. It's like, I'm not giving you nothing. But it's taken me a long while to, you know, to get to that stage.
And it's about saying, you know, being able to be able to say no and feel comfortable with that. You know, because saying no doesn't mean that you're being awful to the person that you've said no to. And I think a lot of times, especially as women, we don't like to say no, and that's when our boundaries get stepped on.
Interesting.
Very interesting. So Marina Active's on, and she's saying that you're so right, Marcia, and she's saying that boundaries are so important, but sometimes we get into a relationship before we deal with healing ourselves.
Absolutely. So
true.
And that is so key.
Interesting.
It is. But
anyway, I'm going on to the men's side of things. So Samuel L. Jackson.
I was just about to ask about that.
So let me tell you. Oh my goodness. Let me just paint the scene. Beautiful day, Oxford Street, sunny, sun is beaming down. I've got a short sleeve shirt on. I'm looking all nice and sexy in my police uniform.
Your police uniform then, Lesleye?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you in your police uniform?
Pardon?
Are you in your police uniform?
I'm in my police uniform. My hat on.
Go on, Lesleye.
My hat on and everything. I went to Oxford Street, and I'm thinking, I was on the other side. So if you know Oxford Street, where these Selfridges is, I'm on the other side. And I see this black guy coming out of Selfridges, and I'm thinking to myself, I know him.
You know your brother?
I know him. I'm walking, I'm thinking, and I'm looking at him, thinking, where do I know him from? Where do I know him from? I can't think where I know him from. I was like, oh God, it's Samuel L. Jackson! Oh my God, calm down. Right, we've got to get over there. We've got to get him an autograph. We've got to do that now. Uniform on, you can do this. And that's what I did. I abused that uniform. Out of my way. I was on a mission. And I Samuel L. Jackson, and I tapped him because he's tall.
Yeah.
Right.
Tapped him, and I'm like, hi, and he went, hey, officer.
Oh my God.
Listen. He went, hey, officer, you're not going to arrest me, are you?
Oh my God.
While you were fainting.
And I said to him,
Wow.
I said, Samuel, please let me arrest you. He's like,
Love it.
he was
Oh
like,
wow.
officer, we can't stand around here talking because I'm going to bring attention to myself. I'm like, it's all right. I can walk wherever you're walking. I can walk with you.
Oh wow.
Oh my God, my heart was like, do. It was amazing. So we walked a little bit. I think we got up to like Regent Street.
Oh wow.
And I got him to sign on my shirt. It was one of those little, what they call newsagent shops, and I got a permanent marker.
Yeah.
And I got him to write on the back of my shirt that
Oh wow.
I am Samuel Jackson or something like that. It said. I've still got the shirt, but it's all faded.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's faded, but yeah. Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah.
What a story. I love that.
Oh yeah, he was amazing. And he gave me a hug, and
Oh
it was
nice.
really nice. Really, really
I'm
nice.
so jealous.
Yeah, innit?
I'd have clamped them handcuffs on him.
I wanted to. And he had like all these bodyguards around, and I'm
Oh,
like,
did it? Oh
yeah.
gosh.
It was
Wow.
so weird because they all like just appeared. They just
Oh,
there.
Yeah.
When I went on in, they just were all there, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm a police officer. I've got my warrant card. I'm a police officer. All right.
you tell him.
Oh wow.
That's a
Fabulous.
story.
It is. Yeah.
So that was my highlight of being in the police service.
Oh
How long were you
wow.
a police officer for?
So I was there for, I think it was about 7 years.
Really?
Right. Wow.
Yeah. I got a lot of abuse though. I got a lot of abuse from Black people. Yeah.
While you were in the police?
Yeah, I did. I got a lot. I got a lot of name calling, and yeah, it was really hard. It was really hard it was really hard being in the uniform. Yeah, it was really hard wearing the police uniform and getting hounded by Black people because I was a sellout and I was this and I was that. And then I went into one of the crime squads, which was really good. And but that was really hard because it was a lot of white people and it wasn't very nice. I wasn't treated very nicely. And I'm a woman, as you can see, and I'm of colour. So yeah, it was
Wow.
hard. But it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Very
So you got it from both sides then. Yeah.
Yeah. And my kids were young, and yeah, it was hard. It was a hard one, but it was an interesting job.
Yeah.
And no regrets.
Good.
So,
So what was the thing that made you think, right, enough's enough?
yeah, there was a lot of things going on within my personal life, so it was time for me to move on. And yeah, that's just what I did. Yeah, but yeah, it was interesting.
So
Yeah.
you were in the council?
So Leeds City Council, I can't remember her name now. Really nice lady. Oh, I forgot her name. But yeah, I was in the council, God, years. I made myself unemployed again. Been unemployed twice. And I moved to Leeds and I joined the council. I can't remember when it was. I think it was 2004, 2005, I think it was. And yeah, I was in there. But you know what? Within the council, which is such a shame as well, there's a lot of racism, you know, throughout my life actually, from moving to an area where the people from Chapeltown to go to live to Holton Moor. I mean, these no disrespect, but I learned all these nasty words from moving to Holton Moor. When people used to say words like "get back on your banana boat," I didn't understand what that actually meant. I couldn't understand it. I learned all these things from Holton Moor, and these people. It wasn't a nice experience. And yeah, so working in the council for me, and I worked with housing, and so I worked at the housing offices. So any black person who got, and you know how hard it is for social housing at the moment, but any black person who got a property offered to them and it was in Gipton or it was in Holton Moor, I put my hands up, I would persuade them, I would beg them, I would plead with them not to go there. I'll tell you a story. There was one family, right, they were from, and this broke my heart, and one family, they were from Portuguese. And this particular week when they got offered this property, I was off work. I was on holiday, and they moved in like today, right? I was off for that week. They came in the housing office the following day to say where I was back at work, and they said they wanted to leave, and I was like, whoa, how the hell did you get offered this property? Who signed you up? Why? I was shocked, because when I lived in Holton Moor, people used to get their, what's the word when you go to the toilet and you do a number 2? That was what you used to get and throw it through the letterbox.
Oh, wow.
That's what people used to do. One fine night, people used to throw the bangers through the letterbox. Yeah. People used to, you walked from the terminus at Kendall Drive, and you had to make sure you had your running shoes on. I'm a very good runner. I was a very good runner. And you had to make sure you had your running shoes on, because if you didn't, right, you would get beaten up, and you would get beaten up badly, right?
Wow.
You really would. It was heartbreaking. So for anybody, for me, when I worked within the council, anybody of colour to go into that area for me was a no-no. And I got into a lot of trouble within the council for doing that. And I think that was one of the things why the council didn't want to promote me in any job, because my mouth was too big, you see. You know, I asked too many questions. But this family got hounded. They got hounded. Yeah, they did. Yeah. And I had to go to one of the top, can't remember his bloody name now, but I had to go to his office, and yeah, they were going to put me on a warning. Well, they did. They put me on a warning. So yeah, not a good experience within Leeds City Council. But yeah, I was so happy to get out of there. And I got out of the Leeds City Council because this is what made me get out of there. I helped somebody. I helped them to say, look, you don't pay your rent, you're going to get evicted. And this went on for about 18 months. Decided not to pay rent. You don't pay rent, you need to get evicted. So they got evicted. So the family member, he harassed me so much, where he came right into my face. And you know when somebody's so angry and they're foaming at the mouth.
Oh, good grief.
At his mouth and calling me all these names, and I ran for my life. And I parked my car. I used to park my car further from where I used to work. And I ran for my life because I didn't know what he was going to do. And that was my turning point to say, you know what, get out of this. Enough is enough. Move on. And yeah, I went. Well, I was on sick for, but yeah, I left the council.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a story. Wow.
Paula's agreeing with you. She said that they used to set dogs on her and family and stuff.
Yeah.
Interesting. I worked, as you know, I worked in housing most of my life. That's all I've ever done, really, apart from one other job. But I spent 30 odd years in housing. And when I was in, one of the places I went to work was in a place called Fitzwilliam in Pontefract, where they ain't seen no black people. and I was there. This was in the 80s, you know, just after when the miners' strikes all happened.
Yeah.
So I'd walk down the street and they'd be like that. But they weren't horrible. They were just ignorant. So they'd ring up to speak to me and they'd go, can we speak to that dark lass? Oh my God. And they thought that was just the norm. But they were never, but it was not long after that, there was a black guy in the butchers and we got on quite well. And like, but it was just like being on another planet because they spoke differently. Out in Ponte, they were proper broad. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So like, you know, like coal, because they still use a lot of coal out there. It was coil. So when someone comes into me and goes, oh, we've got no coil, I'm like, I don't know what you mean.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that was, for me, that was one of the things when, as soon as I turned 16, I knew I needed to get out of this place.
Yeah. So Marina's saying she used to work for social services in Halton Moor, and it's one of the worst places she's ever worked. She had a tyre slashed and spat on when she was out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Has it changed?
Wow. You know what? I would never live there myself. I would never go there. I remember quite a few years ago now, where my younger sister, we went, there was something happening at a friend's house. A friend lives up there, and we drove around that area, and you know, she was having a panic attack, you know, from that area. It's just so bad, so bad. I would never, not an area for me to live in at all. And to do housing there, Halton Moor in Brixton, is just a big no, big fat no. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So you left council, lass.
I did.
What happened next?
You know, while I was in the council, so I was on sick for, I don't know, about 8 months altogether. And in that period, at that time, I worked on myself every day. In fact, I think it was that the year before I decided I was going to leave, and it was that incident what pushed me out even quicker. But I decided, because it was just like, you know, when you want something more, you know, when you want something different, but you don't know what that more is.
Yeah.
You know, it's summer. And I started listening to motivational speakers, Mr. Les Brown, and that's how he came into my life. And I listened to him every single opportunity I had. I didn't watch any television. And in my bedroom, I got myself one of those jotters, and on there I wrote, I don't know, reinvent, reprogram, inspire, motivate. I am beautiful. I am great. I am courageous. I am powerful. I am believing in myself. And I pinned it all over my bedroom wall. I mean, everywhere in my bedroom had all these different words, and I read them and read them and read them every day. And you know what that did for me? It changed my whole mindset. It gave me this power. It gave me this, it inspired me to do more. It told me, you can achieve anything you want to do. You can go and grab it, Lesleye. Just believe in yourself. And that's what I did. With that, with those words, I always said I wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to go to university. I always wanted to do that. And I applied to university. They said to me that I had to write this essay, and I was never good at writing. I mean, I did talk about my dyslexia when I was 29, and the sergeant said to me at police college, he said to me, Lesleye, have you ever been tested for dyslexia? And I was like, dyslexia? What's that? And he was like, I think we should get you tested, Lesleye. And I went and got tested, and this guy come back and he said to me, you know, Lesleye, you are severely dyslexic. And I'm like, what's this mean? Tell me what it means. And he said, basically, you've just got to learn in a different way. Okay. And I'm like, what? And he showed me what to do. And it was just like, I'm getting all emotional. It was just like, this light had just opened up, and I could see it, and I could do anything. And I, Lesleye O'Connor, with dyslexia, left school, no qualifications, And I passed out as a police officer. Hello? People have got to get all these GCSEs to get in there. I got in. Oh, let me tell you about my interview with the police. Oh my God, they loved me. They loved me. Sorry. They loved me. And it was an amazing interview with the police. It was amazing. I had 3 steps: an interview, a fitness test, and a writing test. My writing test, 200 was a pass mark. I got 202. And I passed that. My fitness, I didn't have to worry about my fitness because I did a lot of running from Halton Mall, so I knew how to run. So that was cool. And my interview, let me tell you, them police officers, them sergeants and inspectors who interviewed me, they loved this Yorkshire girl. They was like, I like your Yorkshire accent. So you grew up in Chapeltown. Tell us all about Chapeltown. And yeah, and they was like, you know what? You're in, lass, you're in. So that was amazing. Yeah, so, you know, to have dyslexia and to be told that, you know, you're no good, you're rubbish, and to listen to Les Brown, to change my whole mindset, to change everything around in my life, to believe, to stand up tall. I mean, to really stand up within yourself and look at yourself in the mirror and you tell yourself, you are amazing. You can achieve anything you want to achieve. Wow, Mr. Les Brown did that. He did that. And with that, I applied to university and I wrote that 2,500 word essay, and they said, yes, Miss O'Connor, you can come in. And I got into uni, and here I am.
Yay!
That's fabulous, honestly.
Ah, you.
Are you amazing or what?
Ah,
Isn't she just?
she is just amazing.
Wow.
You are. Paula, look at you now, sis. Wicked, well done. And she loves you loads. And is it Kay? Kay, is this Kay that you met?
Hey.
Hi, Kay. Kay says you're a big inspiration, Lesleye. So proud of what you've achieved. And Jamie says you're inspirational. And Sergi says you're amazing. And Marina says that must have been so special to understand that you learn different from everyone. You're not as stupid as people made you feel. And she understands how you feel. And yes, you have done really well. And Kathy at RJC Dance is going, yay! Well done. Wow.
Yeah. It's just awesome. Wow.
Yeah.
Powerful, powerful.
Mass, you know, I could chat. My goodness, that is amazing.
Yeah.
So that is really a story about going out there and just believing yourself and just doing it and cutting all those things that tell you that you can't.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
So,
And also about resilience. I think you know, having the resilience to bounce back from all that, you know, all those adversities that you've had, I think is and courageousness. Those are such wonderful values, you know, that you have, and I just think we're so proud of you, Lesleye.
Thank you.
Really.
you are amazing. And
yeah,
it's almost those difficulties and challenges in our lives that's kind of brought us all together as well, because all 3 of us have got them. We've had to fight. So people can look at you sometimes and go, oh yeah, you're doing great.
yeah.
But, you know, Marcia knows probably more than you do, Lesleye, but I've had to fight. Marcia's fought. You've obviously, it's just been a constant challenge, but it's about not giving up, isn't it? And
absolutely.
finding that strength. And you usually ask this, Lesleye, so I'm going to ask you, what is it that kept you going? Where have you got that strength of resolve from? What is it? I mean, I know what's worked for me. Marcia will know what's worked for her, but what is it that's kept you going and got you where you are now?
I think there was always more about Lesleye, and I've always wanted to find it. I wanted to find who Lesleye is, you know, and I think, you know, when you're a kid and in your imagination and you think of all these things, what you want to do, what you want to achieve, and you know as a kid, you see them, and I think I knew what goals and what dreams I'd set for myself as a kid. As a kid, I knew it. And it was really weird because just the other day, I always had a thing about my hands. Always. And as a kid, you know, when you're doing all the cooking and the washing up and your fingers go all funny. And my mum always said to me, you know, you're going to have a maid, you know, because you're never going to be good in the kitchen. You're never going to, you know. And I always saw myself where I was helping people, but I was in this big environment and these big things around me. But then I didn't understand. I don't think I'm making it. I didn't understand what it was. But the other day, it was like I was dreaming, and all those things what I saw when I was younger, I could see them all now.
Wow.
And it was like, but then it was like my dream was telling me, you've got all those things when you were younger, you've got them all now. And I don't know if it was time for me to like stop, or he was showing me, do you want more? Or I don't know what it was, but I think I like to inspire myself. I talk to myself a lot. I do. I'll tell you.
That's okay. I think that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
And I love it because I think you've got to big yourself up. You've got to be your own inspiration. You have got to inspire yourself, and you've got to inspire yourself so much where you're shaking inside and thinking, I can't do that. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Amen.
Me and
Yeah.
my mirror, we're good friends.
Yeah. Well,
Fantastic.
And
Yeah.
the thing is, you have been set a challenge by your audience. So Kathy says, and it's been agreed by Marina, that sounds like there's kind of a book coming out.
Oh,
and they've even given you a title, More About Lesleye.
Woo!
Yeah.
Like
So
it.
you don't have to think about a title, love. They've done it for you. So, well waited, Mrs. Journalist, and your book, More About Lesleye.
Indeed. Yeah.
First, 31st
That's I like that. More about Lesleye. I do like that. I really do like that. Yeah.
More, and you know, ladies, I've started writing a book.
Well, there you go then.
Yeah.
More about Lesleye. I like that. Yeah. So yeah. And you know what it is, right? Every day, I tell myself, how amazing you are. You're amazing. Because that person, there's nobody there. So the only person who is going to encourage and inspire you is you.
Exactly.
That's what I've got on my wall there. The only person who can do you is you. So do it.
Yeah.
And this COVID thing has even given me more of a purpose to go and do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I thought I was going to die.
Oh.
You and Nathan know that, and Kay knows that. I'm going to die. So yeah, do what you can do.
Nah, there's more about Lesleye.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kathy,
Love that.
make sure you get some royalties from this book, because that title you offered to.
I love it.
So make sure you get a mention in this book, love. So yeah.
I love it. Wow.
So are we right up to date with where you are now? So you're at Manchester University. I assume you're doing a journalist course?
Yeah. So this is so I had to do my foundation year. So this is my first year. And you know what? It's absolutely mind-blowing. this is where I'm meant to be. And it's just like, oh my goodness, I have got so many goals. I've got so many things to do. This, yeah, more about Lesleye.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. This is just amazing. This is, you know, I've got big dreams, big dreams. Yeah, where I'm frightening myself for myself. Yeah, I love it.
Well, they say if your dreams don't scare you, they're not really big enough, are they?
Exactly. Yeah.
There you
Exactly.
go.
Yeah.
We know that our dreams scare us. Matthew will tell you we have this conversation often. So you're in your first year. So how many years is your course?
Yeah, so 3 years. I've got 2 years left.
Okay.
Wow.
Fast though, isn't it? It's going fast. It's going fast. So yeah, I've got 2 years left, and in those 2 years, I want to have achieved my. I want to do a magazine, ladies. You know, we've got to get a magazine out there. We've got to get our stories in this magazine. We've got to talk to loads of different. There's just a magazine is top priority for me at the moment, and I want to talk to as many people as I can and find out their stories and what you do and how you do it. You know, I've always been interested in people, and that's why, you know, Lesleye Starts a Conversation. That's why that came around, and doing this. I mean, this real table talk. This is just amazing. I mean, who would ever have thought this would have been like this? Huh?
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And we need
Amen.
it. This platform is so needed.
Absolutely.
People who have been in touch with me, you know, and I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful for it. I really do appreciate it. And I just want to interview all these people. I want to do more of the interviews. So I'm looking forward to finishing uni for the summer, so I can do like 2 interviews a week or something. Do you know what I mean? And obviously still do our Lesleye Starts Real Table Talk, as well as Lesleye Starts a Conversation.
Yeah.
And the magazine.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Our own little studio going on. So
yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Where's John? Is John on today? Oh,
not
John.
Yeah. But just so you know that Kathy said she's expecting a donation to RJC Dance for her.
Yes, yeah. And you've been in the magazine as well, Kathy.
Say that again.
You've been in the magazine as well.
Yeah.
Articles about Kathy and what she's doing, and
Cool.
Maybe we should get Kathy on the show sometime as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing things.
Yes.
Kathy, you're going to be on the show, girl.
Yeah. You did say actually.
Marina said it's like COVID has really made this possible, because I think we talked a little bit just before we came on, and you were saying how grateful it's made you feel that you've come through COVID.
Yeah. So grateful, honestly. So great. I keep saying I don't want to get emotional, but I am such an emotional person, and I'm like fighting back the tears. But COVID for me was, it took out all my energy, and I think I was fighting to get better. But while I was fighting to get better, I was just getting worse. And that was a real shame, and I was just getting frustrated with myself, but then trying to be positive. And then I just wanted to just drink all this lemon and limes and whatever and steam it, and that made me even more poorly. So I was like, I couldn't win. I couldn't win. So I'm so happy I'm out of it.
I bet you are. We are too.
Yeah.
Is John J.S. Webster?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry, John. John commented a long time. I've probably skipped over it, John, but he said earlier on, proud of you, sis. We had some deep conversation about you becoming a motivational speaker. And he says, so good to see you back. So someone prompted me that John had, I think it was Paula that said John had commented. So thank you for that, Paula. Beverly Ebony Mindsoul says, thanks for sharing your story, Lesleye. You're truly inspirational. Be proud of yourself and keep rising.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Jackie Walker agrees that Kathy should come on the show.
Yes.
And it's interesting what you say about your story, you know, because, you know, like I use LinkedIn a lot, and LinkedIn can be quite stuffy. And one of the stories I put on there the other day was about me leaving school with nothing and how ashamed I used to be of that story, and where I am now. It's had probably one of the most likes and interaction from people I don't even know, because people can relate to you more, can't they, when they hear your story. And I think Les Brown talks about sharing your story as well. And when I talk to kids, you know, because the kids know I'm not talking about a book, I'm talking about this is what happened in my life, and there is absolutely no reason why you can't, because I'm not particularly clever. You know, just certain things have happened in my life that's helped me to get where I am, and I can show you how that can happen to you as well. And they will believe that more than a teacher telling them something or a parent telling them something.
Absolutely.
Because it's reality. So we've all got Marcia, amazing stories to change people's lives. Lesleye, amazing stories to change people's lives. And when I went to Roundhay High, my first job that I got was actually at Roundhay High, the same school that wrote me off, like in the 70s. And I saw the picture of the head teacher in reception, who he was not.
No, he wasn't.
And there was part of me that wanted to say some horrible words to him, but instead I said, thank you. Thank you.
You're bigger than him.
Thank you.
And that. Oh, wow.
So, where are we going to go now? So you're at uni, it's all coming to fruition. You've COVID's gone, long gone. Sorted that. What's next?
I don't think, I'm not going to be working for a company. I'm going to be working for myself, and I'm going to be doing freelance writing, and I'm going to travel, and that's what I'm going to do. With Toastmasters, see, I really enjoy Toastmasters. I did talk about Toastmasters, but Toastmasters that really helped me as well. That really helped me with my confidence. And there's a lot of people out there who haven't got their confidence because they're scared to do public speaking, or and Toastmasters is really good for that. So I'd like to carry on my work with Toastmasters, and bring other people in there and do something like that. I don't know yet, still thinking about that, but Toastmasters is it's my baby. I love Toastmasters. And I think it just gave me, because Les Brown, he said he joined Toastmasters International to practice his public speaking skills. And when he said that, I went, found Toastmasters, 2 in Leeds, and I joined straight away. And that was 2000. In fact, when I started to reinvent myself, it was October the 28th, 2017.
That day planted in your brain.
Wow.
That's when it was. That's when I decided. And Mr. John Webster, that man, he's a real inspiration. He really is. We're very, very close, me and John. He's my brother. He's my brother from another mother, and so we've got a lot of, but he's a darling.
That's nice. John, you're a darling. It's been public.
And I just want to say to Ebony, actually, Ebony, thank you so much for my beautiful top. It's so lovely and warm. It's lovely. So if anybody wants to get, and it's online, it's double line.
Nice.
It's really nice. So it's 2-way. You can wait. But anyway, so from Ebony Milestone at Mahogany Markets.
Yeah, Ebony's doing big things.
Yeah, she is.
She is.
Yeah.
Marina said I'm scary. She's scared of me.
Who's scared of you?
Marina. Why is she scared
of you? I'm scared of her.
No, she's scared of me.
Oh.
How can you be scared of me? I'm lovely.
Sorry.
Did you sneakily sneak in there did you say you're not going back to work, you're going to work for yourself?
Yeah.
You said that very casually, like it was nothing.
Yeah. I'm going to be 5'5" this year.
55.
Yeah. 5'5". Woo woo.
Looking good, girl.
Wow.
Nobody would have guessed that. Yeah.
Baby of the group. Marcy is the mummy of the group.
I'll talk to you later, Karen.
You know what I mean?
So,
Yeah, I am actually.
it's time, innit? You two work for yourselves, so it's time. It's time for me to move over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's time
I
for me to
am
move
officially retired. Like I've said, you know, I get my pension.
Me too.
We're pensioners.
I need to join that club. Yes, I need to join that club.
You need to join the club, definitely.
Yeah.
Carole, Layla.
Hi,
My
Carole.
mum is back and strong again. Yay!
Yay!
And Ebony says that your top looks amazing. The colour suits you. It's
They
royal.
do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you so
Love that.
John says,
Yeah.
respect and love always, sis. This is your time.
Hey.
And Marina said, she's scared, as in my motivation to get on with it. Oh, that's okay. Yeah,
Oh.
not messing about. I'll take that, Marina.
Yeah.
And Ebony Milestone says chapter 55. It's a good number.
Yeah.
Hey, it is. It is.
It is.
It is definitely.
Wow.
So, what have we got planned for next week then? Are we back next week, ladies?
It's your show, honey.
I think we've got an amazing guest.
It's not you again, is it?
Oh.
I'm not going to say who it is, 'cause I need to confirm. Now that I can, I'm back.
Now that you're back. Yeah.
Oh, it feels
Yeah.
so nice. Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
We have truly missed you.
We have.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
want to say a big thank you. Thank you to all my beautiful messages. I do apologize if I haven't responded back to them. Thank you for all my phone calls. Thank you for my flowers. Thank you for my chocolates. Thank you for my book. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate all the love and the support, and I'm sorry for all my tears.
Oh.
Guys.
No.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Tears
you.
are good. Tears are good. John says he thinks you should try to do a calling show.
That would be a good
Hi, Lesleye, this is John. I just want to say how amazing you are. And you go, oh, thank you, John. Not that he's after that. It sounds like a really good idea.
Yeah.
Do a podcast. Marcia is the queen of podcasts.
Wow, yeah. That's a good idea, isn't it?
Yeah.
What? So, but how would you do it though, where the audience could hear the question?
Oh, for the calling.
You couldn't do that, could you?
No,
So, John, you thought how that's gonna work?
On a podcast, probably
Oh.
no.
But now, how would that work?
One of us would have to have, I don't know. John, tell us how to do it. We've no clue.
I tell you what you could do. It'd be a different platform though. It'd have to be StreamYard, and you could actually invite people in, but they'd be live as well, so you'd see them. So you could do it that way. But if it's a phone call, I'm not sure.
So are you saying that different people could just zip in when it's StreamYard?
You could invite them in, so you'd literally see them, and then they could directly ask you the question. I think.
All
But
right.
but I think that's with StreamYard. But if it's just a telephone calling, I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, it's going on here. So Ebony Milestone's now saying we should have a radio station.
Actually, that would be really good, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, guys, we really need to be,
Yeah.
2021, we really need to be up in it.
Let's do a radio station. Ebony Milestone says get into Clubhouse. I'm lost. I don't know what that is.
Oh,
I am actually got invited to Clubhouse.
Yeah, I think
it's like it's a platform where people can just, well, I've joined it. Somebody sent me an invitation, so I accepted it. I haven't done anything with it yet. But it looks like a really good thing because people can, it's like Clubhouse, it's like a big house virtually, but there's lots of rooms. So people can have a room and you can do things in there. So you can set yourself up to do a presentation, or you can do it to set up yourself to have conversation. You invite people in and have conversations, and you can hear each other speak and all of that. But from what I understand, I think it's only people with iPhones that can get in now, because they're in the kind of like the beta. They're doing like this beta thing. So, but I think it's going to roll out to everybody, you know, whichever phone you've got shortly. Right. So that's my understanding. I could be wrong. I'm not very technical. So
okay, so
just be careful what we think, what we ask for, because Marina's saying, remember, Fresh FM is now legal and looking for a round table, and she's going to talk to me about it.
Oh.
And John says you forgot, sis, that he spoke to you about this, Lesleye.
Oh, did you?
Oh, did you, John?
Sorry.
1 minute, John, she's saying you're amazing, you know. Next minute, she remembered what you told her.
Sorry. But how will it work then? How will it work? You need to phone us in. You need to phone in now and show us how it's going to work. That's what you need to do. Now? Yeah, okay. Phone me now.
John, phone Lesleye on her phone and tell her what she needs to do. But don't forget, we've also got Marina, who's offering us a radio a space.
Oh, yeah, we've got lots going.
Yeah.
On Fresh FM.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. That is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Ladies, so.
John says he sent you a video of his new project.
He has.
You have, John.
Oh.
Hey, here he is. Here's the man himself. Put your loudspeaker.
Can you do that?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I sent you a video of the new project, what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Remember now?
Yes.
Yeah. Right. So that's how we're going to set it up then.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, you got it.
I'm excited. Ooh.
I do. Yeah, I do remember now. Oh my goodness. I think this COVID has really like zapped at half of my brain. But yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not too much.
Oh, she's cut you off, John.
Right. John, sorry, I've just cut you off by accident. I'll call you back. Okay, so hiya. Yes, sorry. Yes, all right. We're still recording here, so I'll give you a call back.
Right, yeah. I'm watching you all as well.
All right.
Okay. So what time is it now?
Oh, thank you. Did you hear that? We're doing a fantastic job.
Oh, that's nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye. Oh, bless you. Thank you so much, John. Well appreciated. Ladies, is it time for us to...
Yeah.
I think so. Never mind.
I think we need to go. So, yeah, absolutely fantastic interview.
Absolutely.
Story. I just want to say thank you for sharing what you've shared, really, because again, it's very personal, but just shows, you know, that word Marcy used, resilience. Funny enough, I've just been talking about resilience, Marcy, but yeah, resilience, strength, you know, setting your goals and being determined. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I second everything that Karen has said. Yeah. You're such a beautiful soul as well. And yeah, and so much love and respect for you from us both. And clearly from the community as well. Yeah. That tune in without fail every week. And that's a testimony really to you. Yeah. So, yeah.
You've got a great audience out here.
Yeah.
Well done, you.
So, yeah.
1 minute we're in Banyan going, could this work? What should we call ourselves? Can we even do it? What should we do?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I know, look at us now. It's just amazing.
Yeah, it's fabulous. Absolutely fabulous.
Thanks again to our audience, obviously, because without them it wouldn't.
It would.
Yes.
The life it's got. So you guys are just absolutely amazing.
Amazing. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy we're back. And I think, you know, well, we don't know what our calendar's like, but we need to. I know I've had some guests where I had to cancel, so I'm going to be back in touch with you guys. And yeah, let us get you butts back in now that we're back.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Okay.
And we'll see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. See
Bye.
you.
Bye. Bye-bye.